how was your senior year changed because of COVID?
Well, I think there's been a lot of changes. Like, obviously, we all went into this expecting that we would have bottom O and that we'd get to go to prom and, just like the small senior things that I think make the final year so special. Particularly for our year, because we didn't get to have prom last year and like get that transition into senior year. But yeah, so it's been quite different in that way. But in a lot of ways, I feel like it's kind of similar to what it always is because it's nice that we get to be in school, because like last year they weren't able to really do that. So it's not too bad. But yeah.
What has been like the biggest thing you got, like you specifically have had to overcome this year?
I think just like not seeing people as much has been quite difficult for me.
Mhm.
Like, I love to see people, and that's sort of what brings joy to my day. Just going out and seeing all my friends and, meeting up with people after school. So it's been a bit weird to be inside so much, especially during lockdown. I just hated being inside all day. But I'm quite lucky because I'm a horse rider and I still get to go up to the stables pretty much like 6 times a week because it's a different part of the law. Um, so yeah, it's nice because I know a lot of people haven't been able to do their sports. So it hasn't been too different. So it's
Yeah, that must be nice. I mean, I've been in the States for most of the lockdowns.
mm,
So luckily, like it isn't as restricted there.
yeah.
Which has been nice, but yeah, I know like Spencer was here the whole time, so I know that must have been hard on people in London.
Yeah. And I mean, you touched upon it earlier, the fact that the seniors last year obviously didn't have their final semester almost. And for the majority of the second semester, as a junior, you were in lockdown like everyone else. So, during that time, what did you expect from your senior year coming out of lockdown?
I mean, I'm an optimist, so I kind of was just like crossing my fingers that everything would be back to normal. But I think, that was never going to happen. But I feel like honestly, it's been better than I expected. The only real difference is that we have to wear masks and socially distance, which I don't think is too big of a deal. So it could be
Or,
worse.
sorry, what particular things do you think has made it better than what you would expect?
I mean, it's nice that we still get to see everyone. Like, I know some other British schools are doing something where basically different sections of the school come in during the week. So it's not like the whole school is there all the time. So I think it's nice that ASL has everyone there. So you're still seeing people that you wouldn't normally see. Obviously, if you're, in lockdown, you don't see anyone. But it's nice in that way because I think one of the things that makes school so special is that you see all of these people that you wouldn't normally see outside of school. And that's something I've really thought about when I was in lockdown, like the small interactions you have with people every day that you're not necessarily, good friends with, but you are like acquaintances with.
Yeah, I completely agree with you about that. Like normally I thought like, oh, well, there isn't, it's kind of classes and then you have lunch. But and then you're gone. And I never really thought that it was like a very social thing, but you when like in lockdown, you really realize that those little things make a very big change.
Yeah.
So how do you like plan to make the most of make the most of like your senior year? Well, at least what you have the rest of it.
Mm. I think I'm just really trying to take everything in and just be in the moment, live in the moment, and try and get everything I can out of these last few months. I mean, it's weird because I've been at ASL for so long now, and I, for a long time, I didn't feel that close to ASL, but now that I've been there for so long, I'm like, this really is my second home. And all of the teachers that I'm so close with and I've had since I was so little, it's nice to just go and see them and, have a chat with them, even if they're not my teachers anymore. So I definitely want to continue to do that until I leave.
And
Yeah,
do you
that's
think,
nice.
yes, sorry, do you think that feel, I'm looking for the word, do you think you feel ready to say goodbye? Do you think you have kind of the closure that you wanted? Or are there still a couple more things that you'd like to do before leaving?
Mm, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever really be ready to say goodbye, but I definitely think that ASL has taught me a lot and I'm ready for a new adventure. But there's a lot of teachers that I love at ASL and a lot of people. So, but I think it's, today in this sort of world, like we can always stay in touch with people. So it's not like goodbye forever, but it is a bit sentimental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it must be, especially for, yeah, like if, especially like the last year has been, I guess, I mean, it's been better than a lot of other circumstances, but it's definitely been something to work with.
Yeah.
What expectations do you have for like moving forward? Like, how do you think you'll deal with like COVID and everything?
I don't know. I mean, I think with COVID, since this is still like new territory, it's sort of just taking it one day at a time and like making small goals for yourself and not sort of like being too hopeful, which sounds a bit depressing, but like when you go into every situation being like, oh, there's never, we're not gonna have to socially distance, or come this
Yeah.
time, everything's gonna be back to normal. Like it's easy to be disappointed. So I
Yeah.
feel like for now, I'm just trying to enjoy the fact that we get to be in school and see all our friends and, be in classes with teachers and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, you have to be happy with like the little things, I
yeah,
find.
Yeah, I think it's super nice that you've kept this optimistic approach. I know some people, sometimes myself included, have been
Yeah.
quite pessimistic about the times, but it's nice to know that there's still some optimists.
Yeah.
Um, Finally, how has ASL helped you in your grade make it feel more like a normal senior year?
Well, I think it's like the little things we do, like the baby photo contest, that was quite fun. And even small things, like when I was younger, I hated advisory, in all honesty. I just was like, this is such a waste of time. But now that I'm older, I really like it because it's sort of this allotted time in the day when you get to just be with these people that you've known for a long time, and you know this teacher better than others. And it's quite nice just to like play games and stuff. It sounds so silly, but like, those are the things that you enjoy, especially if you're like in a really stressful environment all day. And yeah, I don't know, we've had a lot of like grade Zoom calls and stuff like that is probably my favorite.
I know Spencer said finally, but I just wanted to ask another question. Sorry about that. So you quickly previously you mentioned how you've been able to horse ride during COVID, but has there been any other, I guess, implications on being able to horse ride at all, or has it just been completely fine? Or like, how have you been
Yeah.
handling that?
I mean, there's definitely been a lot of implications. Like all of the competitions were cancelled and the whole season of the sport, like the competitions, were all sort of put on hold, which definitely threw a spanner in the works, especially since this is like my last year to compete in this region and like all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not been too bad. I mean, well, no, that's the optimism talking. But I think it's just, I mean, it is kind of hard because like we aren't able to go anywhere. We're not even able to like take the horses places to train and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of annoying. But, you know, there was a time when we weren't able to go and see the horses at all. So this is much better than that.
Yeah. Well, that's very optimistic. Do you think you're going to continue with horse riding?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, it depends where I end up going to school, but I think the plan right now is to bring my horses with me. And I mean, it's something I've done since I was like 4 years old. So it's like a massive part of my life that I think
Yeah.
I'll always do.
It must be.
Yeah, and you mentioned like the not being able to compete, which like I know like for myself, like playing sports, and I know Nick plays tennis, like that's
Yeah.
something that's very hard. So how have you what's your mindset been through training with your horse, knowing that you won't be able to compete? How do you kind of, keep that hunger to keep doing what
Yeah.
you're doing?
I mean, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So I'm always trying to make goals for myself and like beat my own scores. And I think that this is actually a great opportunity to like improve all of the basics again and sort of like start from the scratch and like go through and find the things that you can improve and make better. Because actually, I think that when we come out of this and when competitions start again, people are going to be, or this is my mindset, that people are going to be better than they were before, because it's like they haven't had any time to go and compete and do all this and that. They've just had time to like work and improve and like perfect the details. So for me, it's sort of like this is not a break. This is an opportunity to like,
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. Spencer, do you have anything to add? I mean, I think this has been great.
No, I think I'm good. Ellie, do you want to add anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you very much. We've enjoyed having you on here today.
Thanks for having me,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you so much. We really appreciate it.